Let's take conversation forward now. It's all about the commodities market. Let's get a sense of what's going to happen with the U.S. dollar this week and how that's going to impact the oil and the gold market. Joining me now is Wachira Kiriki, is a financial consultant, joining me from Nairobi. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you, Laddie. It's been a pleasure. I've not been on the channel's TV in a while. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Yeah, great to have you. We missed you there. But oil posted a third straight weekly loss last week. What do you think drove sentiment, in your opinion?
Yeah, so my sentiment is that the gold really dropped on Friday in light of the non-farm information that came out. But it has rebounded quite well. Today we are currently at $2,303 per ounce, which is up almost 80, 100 points from the low. So we are seeing a strong recovery. Of course, this is a very fundamental week. We're having three major news coming out on Wednesday and Thursday. We're having the unemployment claims come out on Thursday. We're also having the Fed statement coming out on Wednesday. And also we're having a CPI month-on-month and year-on-year coming out on Tuesday, tomorrow and on Wednesday. So we suspect this is just anticipation and just a normal market bounce from a very strong support. And the trend will either continue from Wednesday and Thursday, or there's going to be a significant continuation of the process. Gold has been on a significant downfall ever since China stopped buying gold. The Fed of China stopped buying gold, the government. So we think now it's just more anticipation in light of the fundamentals that are going to be announced this particular week, Laddie.
Still looking at Brent and WTI, do you think WTI will hold that $72 level, for this month?
Yeah, as of now, actually, as of today alone, Monday, we are it's trading at 76.3 US crude, 76.3 per barrel. So it's a new high. It has rebounded quite a bit. We think it's driven by speculation, not fundamentals. There's major news coming out on Thursday regarding the crude inventories on Thursday. So we think, because remember, June is a very unusual month. It's simultaneously the end of a quarter and it's also simultaneously the end of a half year. So there's a bit more speculation going forward. And we think there's a bit more demand for oil companies and especially aeronautical companies, aviation companies that are trying to bulk up in preparation for the next year. So that bounced up to $76.3 per barrel. I don't think it's supported mainly by fundamentals. It's just purely hedging and companies just taking positions to protect the half year and a lot of speculation going on, not really fundamentals. So we expect once those announcements are made, the market will probably drop back down as it should. This is just a small breather upwards and a small tick upwards, as we call it, before the market goes to drop. There's been a very clear resistance, and we don't think the market is going to significantly go have an upside. We think the downtrend is more significant, and most of the traders I know, institutional and retail, are holding sell positions on oil as of now.
Right, so I guess it's all about the shorts right now. But let's go back to the metals market. Definitely, we did see a big drop, 3.5% on Friday. That's the biggest drop we've seen for gold. So I'm wondering, is the peak in for gold? Has gold peaked?
We think it might have peaked. It has been oscillating at that particular level for the past 2 weeks. That drop was very massive and it was fundamental driven. And so we think that the market is probably going to keep dropping. It has struggled to do not more than 50, 100 points between today morning and now, which is almost 3/4 of a day. So we think the bear trend has officially begun. We are holding strong sell positions of gold. It has not had a very strong climb, and it has not recovered more than even 10% of what it dropped on Friday. So we can, it's an intelligent decision to say that the market is still a very strong trend on a bear trend. Monday is going to go slightly up. Then from tomorrow and Wednesday, Thursday, the bear trend kicks in. Gold is for sure is a very strong sell. And anybody holding a sell by Friday will be very happy. And we think it hit a very major resistance. It has officially broken all supports and it's now dropping down on free fall.
Right.
Structurally, yeah.
You did mention, China accumulating gold and maybe having some kind of pause there. Is the trend going to change now? Are they going to stop accumulating gold, at this time? And have we noticed if Africa is trying to follow that trend and also accumulating gold for their reserves?
Yes, Lady. I think most African traders are holding positions. I'm in touch with a few institutional traders. We are officially of the opinion that it's a sell market. Africans don't trade gold primarily on fundamentals, much as we produce a huge chunk of it in South Africa. We are basically, we generally are more speculators than we are owners or holders of the metal. So we think gold is going to be a very strong sell. The index, maybe that's something I can touch on as well, is at 104.81. The index is always a very strong metric of where the dollar is going because it's an average of the dollar, it's US index. It's a weight of the dollar measured against all other currencies, especially the majors. And so it has started having a bit of a sell trend. So we think that maybe we are waiting to see what the news is going to be on Tuesday or Wednesday. Monday is always not the best day to find a trend for the week, by the way. It's a day to assess because the remnants of what happened on Friday are always there. So much as I'm sure that gold is a sell, today is a buy. Much as I'm sure that crude is also a sell, today is still upwards. Index also dropped slightly, but I think it's going to be a buy. So the correlation between what is happening now and what's going to happen in the next 2-3 days is slightly different because markets just don't drop vertically or just they tend to oscillate, consolidate for a while, then they keep dropping. So my opinion is that crude oil is still probably a sell, in my opinion. Gold is still a sell, in my opinion. Index is a very strong buy. But the ridiculous news that is going to come out between today and Thursday are going to be the biggest determinants of how these commodities and currencies oscillate and go about in the next 2 to 3 weeks as we start to end the half year, which is ending in 3 weeks. So there's a lot of news coming out in the 2 to 3 days, and I'm keen and careful to observe that. But most institutional and retail traders are very strong bear holders and expecting a significant drop in the market bloody.
All right, so looking at the prices earlier, I see, gold was down, but silver was shining by 1.44% at $29.86 per ounce.
Yeah.
So why are we seeing more demand for silver at this time? Is silver about to rally?
I think it's pure speculation. There's absolutely no reason why silver should be up. But like I said, it's just a slight uptick after the major drop. So we are hoping that's going to consolidate, then start dropping again. Technically speaking, since I'm a technical trader, not even a fundamental trader, there's a very strong support and the trend lines have been holding quite a bit. But we think that the upside is done, and the market is just consolidating. It is going through a session called a breather. Otherwise, fundamentally, there's absolutely nothing holding the price of silver up. And it's just a case of speculation. And when profit taking happens, when people who are holding sales exit, it suddenly looks like it's a buy market, but it's not really a buy market. It's just a reduction in the number of buyers and the number of sellers being held constant. All right. So we think it's going to start coming down. Monday is probably not the best day to see an uptick. It's not a very strong buy trend. But technically, we think it's still a sell. And so any wise trader should wait out. Then the sell trend kicks once again, and then we start taking those positions. Silver, gold, those metals are always very, very fundamental driven. Now, as you know, we've been going through a 2 to 3 month, something called the dragon in the room situation, as opposed to the elephant in the room situation. So China has stopped officially buying gold, and that's why maybe there's a bit of a drop, so to speak. And I think it's going to attain its real level as the market continues to drop. This cannot be the real price of gold. It has to drop fundamentally, especially as we start seeing Q2 coming to an end. There's absolutely no reason why gold should be an uptrend. So we're thinking and hoping that it's going to be a sell. We're holding positions on a sell, but let's wait and see how it goes.
Yeah, quite interesting, the dragon, in the room at this time. But what are you seeing for the U.S. dollar index? We did see some strengthening last week. What are you expecting for the U.S. dollar this week?
The dollar, yeah, fantastic, good question. So like I mentioned earlier, the index is at 104.81. It has seen a slight change, so to speak. But it's going to be, like I said, I think it's going to start trending horizontally. Because now that non-farm happened last week and it did what it did, I expect it had a very strong surge upwards. So I strongly suspect this week is going to try consolidate as it waits for the announcements, especially on the unemployment claims, which is going to be coming out on Wednesday. All right. So dollar has been gaining significantly last week against most of these currencies. I don't think that strength is going to hold. Not just because of the news, but because technically, in my opinion, it has hit a very strong resistance, and index should be able to start dropping, in my opinion, in the next 1 to 2 days. But like I said, I'm cautious on index because it's half year. There's a lot of data coming out on employment claims. So I want to see how it's going to. It's hit a very, very strong resistance. So let's see if it's going to keep holding or break that resistance. And I'm not sure what could drive it to break that unless now we get very unusual economic data
Right.
this particular week. All things held, I think it's still going to drop after some point. I think it's done its bull run, and there's nothing holding it.
Right. I guess it's time for the shorts to come in at this time. All right. Thank you so much, Wachira Kiruki, finance consultant, joining me from Nairobi. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ladi. It's always been a pleasure for Channels TV.